Everybody. We're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order at 6:30. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance at a moment of silence and observance of all military past and present. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please, Madam Deputy.
John Condon,
Here.
Pat Tack, Tim Brenner, Eric Gunnels,
Here.
Christine Taylor,
Here.
Stacy Wells,
Here.
Rachel Sankey,
Here. Staff present this evening. Looks like, well, we do have Janice and Kevin here with us who sit on a couple of our committees. Is that Betty?
Yeah.
Oh, hi Betty. Betty back there, maintenance guy. Oh, and I got Jeff, our code enforcer. Yeah, I don't want to see him. And Mr. LaPointe, everybody's hiding on me. Anyway, welcome this evening. We'll move to the approval of the minutes.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes as written.
For is there any discussion on the April 7th meeting minutes? All in favor of the approval, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carried 5-0. Additions this evening to the agenda. I have one addition I just made. I set it down in front of you guys. Sorry, I got too many papers over here. So I want to get it. I'd like to add ordinance number 2021-25-10 to the agenda. Is there any discussion on that?
Where are you gonna put it?
Old business under B. All in favor of the additions to the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carried 5-0. We'll open the floor up to public comment for agenda items only, please, for 3 minutes.
Not gonna write, you're gonna have to take me where I'm at.
Okay.
All right. You have on your agenda disposition of the equipment from the Lesso program. That stuff doesn't belong to you guys. That's Mike Walters' property. You're selling something that does not belong to you. I've spoke to the U.S. military about it. I've spoke to Larry George about it. His position is very strict. If that money goes anywhere but for the use of a police department, you're gonna be in some serious concern. You're gonna do it whether I come out here and raise an objection or not, I understand that, okay? I mean, we're talking to the wall. You're wrong. You are absolutely, totally dead wrong in what you're doing. Now, the second thing in regard to that Lesso program, I get a report the other day that someone has been accused, a friend of mine, of stealing a tractor out there. You know what I'm talking about, okay? Why would that person even be dragged into it? It's total, complete nonsense. Okay. The third thing, I have received reports out here, and yes, I do get reports, I do keep up on it, that the ladies in this office have a tendency to be very concerned for their safety. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, boys and girls, I will stand and protect any one of you ladies. I'm gonna tell John and Eric, I will stand and I will protect them. I know they got sense enough to behave the right way. But if I ever find out again that people are being belligerent, bullied, are physically in fear of their safety and work environment, you will answer to me and you will answer to my asset. So you can feed that line down to your other two who aren't here. But I'm gonna tell you right now, you need to make some changes. The township's strangling. The biggest improvement that has occurred has been over to Old Church School. And I admire that guy, man, what an entrepreneur. But boys and girls, you gotta straighten up here.
Okay, let's keep it on the agenda item.
I am done. I am saying goodbye as a 35-year resident. I am still a citizen and this is still a public meeting, but I will no longer be a voter out here. I have moved, but I still belong to your senior center and I still will come out here and I would be more than happy to help on things if I'm asked. But I'm not gonna put up with any more of this. You're gonna answer to me if it happens.
I appreciate you, Greg. Is there anybody else?
Well, you'll probably hear from me several times tonight. This is the first. On your agenda regarding the wages for deputy clerk and deputy treasurer. I just want to say that on behalf of the planning commission, those two ladies do an enormous amount of work for us. That's outside the scope of their regular job. We have a lot of stuff coming up this summer that I know you're aware of. I don't know how many of the other board members are aware of stuff that's going on. Some of them will be in my report tonight. But they're worth every nickel and more that they can get. I think the township needs to look at a regular increase for our employees, either related to a annual percentage based off the cost of living or something to retain the people that we got. I have gotten them into MTA classes, the online classes for further training. And it's all planning commission related, but it's stuff that we direly need. And they've taken the time to sit through those video seminars and get the extra knowledge to help us out. So consider that when you talk about them. Thanks.
Will do. Thank you, Kevin. Is there any other comment? Okay. With that, we have no presentations nor correspondence. Supervisor's report. Give you a brief update on consumers energy. Kevin and I did meet with them a couple weeks ago. A packet was put into the board members box. Kevin did a great job on simplifying and going through our zoning ordinance and prepare that packet for consumers. It sounds like they're going to be great business partners to work with throughout the project. We will know more moving forward, but in that packet that Kevin gave all of you is kind of the zoning regulations where they're gonna fall at. So I think we're gonna be pretty good with our ordinance as it is, but keep in mind too, we're also revising our zoning ordinance to match our master plan this year too. Yes. The Lasso tractor, so there was a Lasso tractor, I think all the board members are aware from my understanding, but this did come up stolen out of the back. A police report was filed. Tim Brenner had contacted the police. I had spoke with them. They interviewed a few people within the township. As far as I know, that investigation is still ongoing. So if I hear anything, I will let anybody know. And then the ordinance to implement the moratorium was published already. The effective date on that is 5/2026. Treasurer's report.
Oh. So in our independent bank account for taxes, we had $30.61. The My Class Cemetery, we have $179,058.07. In the My Class General Fund, we have $1,578,000 $248.19. And in my class sewer, we have $906,026.14. In our general fund, we have $1,895,726.30. For the cemetery, we have $142,407.95. For the police department, we have $8,534.51. For the senior grant, we have $205,411.89. For the building department, which is per the state, we had to have a building its own line item, $25,277.22. For the sewer, we have $642,472.69. The water, we have $14,066.11. And in the tax account is $16,911.64, which is gonna go down once all the checks clear. We also have the solar chase account. We have 75,000 in there. The bank they were charging us a fee for that account, but they refunded us the money back. So they had us down to 74,862.93, but they credit all that money back, so there's 75,000 back in there. So for the interest for the my class, which we're doing pretty good, we're up to year-to-date $32,314.03. So that's just an interest.
Thank you. Good.
You're welcome.
Stacy, do you have anything on the first?
Yep. Wade trim was out today, and we should have a new cemetery map by the end of the week. And we're gonna be able to print off little maps for the people who need to go out there and find their loved ones. We had 2 burials, and we're working on elections and the qualified voters program to get that straightened out.
Thank you. And then I'll throw in two office supervisors report. Our code enforcer did hand me a simple report before the meeting. He has visited almost 30 properties multiple times. And that can result from tires, blight, auto blight, which we have a lot of complaints on, drainage issues, kind of overflows, a lot of different multiple violations, open dumping, odor. And a thank you to Jeff because he has been doing a wonderful job. We'll go to bills for approval.
I'll make a motion to approve the bills.
I'll second. Okay, I do want to add to those bills, Jared Lasco and Merle West. I included the documentation in your guys' packets. That is our electrician and our plumber
From Vienna.
from Vienna Township. We do carry a contract with Vienna Township, but they were requested by the state of Michigan to do some additional work and attend a meeting regarding North Morris Estates at that time on a complaint that was filed by one of the residents during that time. So they sent the proof over that they attended those meetings, so I would like those to be added into the bill.
Thank you.
They were asking $600 a piece.
I'll support that.
Thank you. Okay, so you amended your motion, you supported it. Any other discussion? Okay, roll call please, Madam Deputy.
John,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Stacy,
Yes.
Rachel,
Yes. Motion carried by 0. Perfect. Okay, we'll move on to the senior center, Shannon Klein. I didn't get a report from the senior center. Fire authority, John, do we have any updates on fire authority?
A couple, at our April meeting, we completed our election of officers. And the truck 25, which is here, has been put into full service now. We received 3 new applications and they're going through the process, so it's always good when a volunteer fire department gets any applicants, so that's always good news. Let's see, the fire department installed 36 total smoke alarms today. There was 39 total calls, 21 in Vienna, 13 in Thetford, 3 in the city of Clio, and 2 out of the area. And finally, I just wanted to make a mention that the fire department received a 15,000 grant from Marlene Wilson Foundation, which she donated that money to be used as needed from her estate. So very nice. So yeah.
Hi, Janice.
Hi.
Anything new with Clio Park and Rec?
I'm gonna start with the library, if that's all right.
That's fine. Hey.
The last meeting was 4-8 and we had an election of officers, but they all stayed the same. And then we also had a question. They were wondering who they can rent out to, and they wondered what the other municipalities' policies were about renting the facilities. When I asked, we don't have a policy for that. We rent to anybody, is what I was told. We don't discriminate. You can't.
But we have a rental policy.
Yeah.
We do have a
You
policy.
talking about renting our halls?
It's all,
You have a policy?
we do.
I'd like a copy of it then.
Yeah.
It's what you fill out. It tells what you have to clean up, all that.
Yeah, what your responsibilities are and what you're
Yeah,
expected.
It's more of a contract, right?
it
It is
is.
a contract.
Contract that includes all property then.
Okay, can I get a copy of it? And then the Parks and Rec meeting was 4/16. And they had the rescheduled Easter egg hunt on April 11th. They had to reschedule it because the park had flooded. They had a turnout of about 200 to 300 kids. And some parents apparently yelled go early, so the kids all took off and there was no stopping them there. So they're gonna have to make some plans for that next year. They wanted them to wait for the fire truck to whistle. And they didn't. They just, some parents got excited and said, go, go, go. It's I guess all the kids went.
Yeah.
When you tell a kid to go get treats, they're not gonna stop. And the Lions went over budget and we agreed to give them half of that. They went over $331, so we agreed to give them $165.50. I think I put these in your box, didn't I?
Yes.
Mm.
Looking at it right now.
And Doug Vance was there. He's with the group that's doing the 4th of July celebration in Clio Park on July 3rd. And he wanted us to co-sponsor because they needed insurance for the party. In case somebody decides to get hurt, they wanted coverage. So we agreed to do that. And then we did a donation to him too. And then we have a new member, Rick Germain, who's we also elected to be the new treasurer. And they decided to go ahead and table the discussion on Mule Lake until next meeting when you're there. Because I think you said you had information from Eric and Mike about what they might need.
Sure you know.
Yeah, I thought,
I did talk to,
Thomas, or, Jeff.
yes, I did talk to Jeff and I let Jeff know that we had approved something, so I'll follow up call with them.
He wants to talk about it at the next meeting, which is May the 21st.
Okay,
I gotta be
Yeah,
at the meeting.
I talked about the phone too, I thought, okay. You're just, okay, I thought we were clear on that, I thought.
We'll get together, Eric,
Okay,
for the
okay.
next one, I'll make sure Jeff's on the same page, because I did speak with him earlier.
Yeah, okay, yeah, he said he was gonna talk.
Might have been after the park and rec meeting.
Okay, all right.
And then we're also gonna talk about the new bylaws that you're helping to write
Yes, sir.
on May the 21st.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions?
Thank you, Janice.
You're welcome.
Okay. Mr. Morris?
Got his notes.
I told you you're gonna give me more than once. The planning commission, in our last meeting, we did an initial draft of the battery storage system ordinance. It's been sent to Caitlin and Wade Trim for the terminology and proper form reviews and stuff. I do have back a copy, it's got lots of red lines on it, yellow highlight lines and terminology changes and stuff that we need to make. We have a public hearing scheduled for May 14th to formally review the ordinance and possibly make a decision on it at that time to move it along to you guys, depending on what the rest of the commission feels when we get to it. But it looks, to me, looks pretty good, looks pretty thorough, and I think we're gonna be good to go with it. Also, at our May 14th meeting, just to give you guys a heads up, we're doing 2 other public hearings. We're gonna do the trifecta that night. One is for marijuana grow license change from a class C down to a B, 2,000 down to 500 plants. And the reasoning they're doing that is it's cheaper at the state. I talked to them because the township fee is the same, but they save a lot of money at the state level by going down to a class B license. And they're not producing 2,000 plants, they realize so. The other one is another change of ownership for a business. So they're easy, simple things that's gonna be coming to you, but you guys will have to approve them at your next meeting. And something set aside they'd like to talk about sometimes is maybe opening up our ordinance and getting to where if it's just a simple license change, like the ownership that we've done in the past where, excuse me, the building stays the same, inside the building stays the same, there's no physical changes to the building or the property. It's just strictly an owner, one owner getting out, another owner coming in, that we can circumvent the planning commission and have a special clause in our ordinance that it just comes right to you. That saves them a lot of headaches, a lot of time, saves us the mailing, public hearing notices and the mailing to everybody within 300 feet. A lot of extra paperwork can be eliminated, but it's something to consider. Some simple changes now that we've gotten more and more and more along in this business. We're learning a lot more things that can maybe streamline the process. The ordinance committee met last Wednesday. We did finalize the first module, the big heavyweight on all the classifications, the major classifications have all been kind of gone over and thinned out. Our next meeting is May 27th at 6 o'clock, Thetford Senior Center again. Caitlin's gonna be by video. Worked out well this last time, and we were able to accomplish a lot. And we're paying her transportation fee back and forth travel time. So it's keeping our budget a little tighter by doing that. Completion date is still, we're planning on October 2026 to finish up the project. But any new, and I'll put this out there, any new and upcoming land uses like data centers may extend that. You know, we have to get in and develop language for that and add to it, or we can amend it again at a later time and do it as an amendment. We'll work that out pending when we get to that. I want to mention the planning commission, I received an inquiry about a possible construction of an indoor-outdoor shooting range in the township. And where the property is located, it's in the agricultural section. It is a permitted special land use, an outdoor range in that zoning area. I talked to the gentleman, he hasn't purchased the property yet. He's looking into purchasing about 50 acres. And it'll be down in the southeast corner of the township, from Francis Road. And his preliminary idea is he's at least 12 months away from even doing an application. He's still working through it. So we had a little chat on the phone. As I hear more, you'll hear more, but right now it's out in the air, but I wanted to make sure it's at least some public knowledge that it could happen out there. I did advise him it has to go through planning, 5 members of planning, and then also 7 members of the board of trustees before he gets a green light. So he knows he's gonna have, he'll have to do a lot of legwork to get any approval. And you already touched on the second meeting with Consumers Energy that we had going over our zoning restrictions. Is there any questions? I made sure all you guys all got a packet, trying to get a good explanation of what we've talked about. Yes or no, I can't say whether it's a good thing or a bad thing for the township, but. We'll see when we get there. But they're at least, they intend to maybe final in June with the MPSC. And then it has to, for approval, and then it has to work its way through their process. The last they had said we're at least, 4 to maybe 5 years. If they do move forward with it before they turn the key on and start anything coming out, so. We're still a long ways off at this point. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to old business. Ordinance for the International Fire Code. I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance number 2026-05-05 to include the comment of Chief Bronson.
Yeah, I also reviewed that and I think the suggestions from the chief were right and I can fully support that. Ordinance.
Is there any discussion regarding the ordinance? Okay, Andy, would you do a roll call for us, please?
Eric,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Stacy,
Yes.
Rachel.
Yes. Motion carried. 5-0. And clerk will get that published. It'll be into effect in 30 days after publication.
The next one. Did I not end up?
Here. You lost that.
That's why.
Okay, next I will make a motion to readopt ordinance number 2021-25-10.
Support with,
Madam Supervisor, a point of inquiry, exactly what is that highlight? What is that?
We're gonna discuss it after we get the motion on the table. Hold on one second and I'll let you know.
so support with the added, note that the, last time we adopted it, it was not,
Oh, we can just put that into the discussion, but you support the motion?
yes, I support the motion.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, now we'll go on to discussion.
Now you can
If
do
you
it.
want to proceed.
Well, I just want to make sure that I kind of want to make sure that we adopted it with the, included in the motion. That we put the note on there that it was not posted within the 30 days. The last time. So I just want to make sure that after we adopted, that before the clerk puts in the book, we put the note that it was not posted within the 30 days, and then the additional vote that we take tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'll amend my motion to readopt ordinance 2021-25-10 due to untimely publication.
Yes, I just want to see the note, so
You support that?
Yes.
support the change, yeah.
Okay, so this ordinance, is there any other discussion which can?
No, I tried to explain that.
Okay, so this ordinance was to regulate the use of marijuana for medical purposes under the Michigan Medical Marijuana Act of 2008. So the board back in October of 2021 had adopted this ordinance because we had a lot of homes that people were buying up and they were using these homes to grow marijuana in, and then we were ending up with homes that were depleted, and it wasn't a good look, nor was it right. So it just drew in a lot of complaints, so we put regulations on those grows. Obviously, they're allowed to grow as many plants, or up to so many plants, in their own home. But it's also gotta be respected, so. There's a simple ordinance in, but we had to readopt it because it was never published. So we're readopting that ordinance today and we'll move forward with publication in 30 days. Can I get any other discussion?
No, in case everyone, yeah, I mean, the supervisor already, alluded to that, basically, it's just, we don't want people making remote growing operations, out of houses. That's the sort of restriction, so.
May I have a roll call vote, Andy, please?
Eric,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Stacy,
Yes.
Rachel.
Yeah. Motion carried 5-0. Okay, we'll move forward with deputy clerk and treasurer wage review. Oh, and it's supposed to be deputy clerk and treasurer wage review. You want to put a motion? What, no, you should do yours separate, yeah.
I'll make a motion to give the deputy treasurer, pay increase.
Second that.
Do you guys have a dollar amount here?
Whatever you guys decide.
Oh, you're just approved, okay. I see.
So we contacted other municipalities, and if you look in your packets, it will tell you approximately what they make. They make anywhere from $20 on up to $35 an hour. If you look
Plus insurance.
with insurance, yeah, so. See here. So take Vienna Township, they get 46,914.84. That's for just working there, plus they get an additional 5,000 for being the deputies. They get like a stipend for that. This one. More Township, they get $25.75 per hour. Richfield, it's $20 an hour. I mean,
You're right.
and then if you look at the comparison, I mean, right now, our deputies are making $16.50 to $17.08. When the average is $20 to $24. So, I mean. I wouldn't be opposed to saying $20 an hour,
I just,
just a flat.
man,
And.
oh, I just wanted to clarify one thing. You said the Vienna Township. How that actually works is they have full-time employees and they make 5,000 for being a deputy. So if they bring in another deputy, they get 5,000, but they have full-time employees that do everything. So the 46 is not just a deputy duty, it's everything. You get really it's $5,000. I just want to clarify that.
Let's do it.
So, but that's, yeah, well, they do everything, but in their documentation, how that reads, you can be that full-time person, but if you pick another deputy, not that girl, she gets $5,000. That's it. So I just want to make it clear, because it sounds like she's making 50 for being a deputy. Not the case, really. No. So I just want to clarify that.
So our deputies do everything too. That, pay them to get the.
If we did them, if we were full-time, yes, and that's how a lot of townships do it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So you're saying that you're saying that what you got the average of what the other deputies are making when you want yours kind of brought up to that average.
Yeah, with the inflation of everything,
Yeah.
they've not. I would like, not get a raise in a couple of years.
I would like to go with an hourly wage increase. I'd look at least $3 an hour increase on each of them. I don't want to bring both flat to $20 an hour because Vicky has been here longer, carries a little bit more seniority, so I think that.
Up to 20 and 50 to 21.
Again, like I said, I would rather go with a dollar amount increase. I think that is an extreme increase.
Mhm.
And that's kind of where I wanted to go. $3 an hour is an 18% increase. Now, there's no union contract in this state that gives 18% per year. You get 2 to 3 rate of inflation. So I'm just pointing out with this, $3 is a very,
But you gotta remember, it's been a couple of years since she's got a raise also.
so and I'm just want to take into that into
Right,
consideration that,
right.
it's pretty substantial. Not necessarily opposed to it. These girls do a great job, both. But I'm saying that you gotta be realistic. So,
I think $3 a piece would bring our deputy clerk up to 1950. I'm correct, right? She's at 1650 currently. And then it would bring Vicky up just over.
She's making 1708.
and I think, sorry, I'm supposed to ask, aren't I?
Go ahead.
I forgot.
Ask away.
I think if we were considering $3 an hour, per each, that, they would not be up for a wage review till 28, a year and a half from now. Because such a big, in other words, I don't want to come back mid-year next year and say, oh, wait a minute. Because we really should be doing this by a percentage, and we should be doing it at budget time, like, okay, this department needs this. You're getting a 2% or everybody, we shouldn't be mid-year saying, so that is why. To that point, it should be, them guys would not be up for review for 2 years. And that would, and then at that time, or in between, we come up with a plan that we do it at budget time.
Would you
And-
guys go for 350 an hour? Because the election workers, I'm telling you, the election workers make $20.
But
And
the election
18.
worker, you can work that out on, this, right now we're talking about their standard wage.
Yep,
That's-
350.
that's
And then
a
I
whole-
went next. Would anyone go for 350 an hour?
See, where I have a difficult time with this, and I'll just, for one, we don't have a policy set in place, which I really wanted to implement for a standard rate increase for everyone across the board. What I have come to realize and why I hate discussing rates at board meetings is because it turns up everybody. Okay, so we look at Thomas, who has been here 7 or 8 years. He's gonna now be making under what the deputy clerk makes that's been here for a year, right? We have April across the street, who we haven't discussed her wage. Yes, we just gave her an increase, but April, we just gave her, was she 6 years? And that brought her up to 1650.
And
So now again, our deputy clerk that's just been here over a year is gonna be at 1950. I think right there is a good enough slap in the face for our other employees until we can regroup and discuss the other employees, because when you take a high increase like that, they're all gonna come to me and they're gonna wanna know where theirs is at, whether or not they just got one 6 months ago or they just got one 2 weeks ago. Now, granted, what I will say, I know they do additional duties on top of deputy clerk and deputy treasurer wages. I'm not opposed to discussing some of those too in the future. I'm not saying that the 1950 locks them in at 1950, well, it does for 2 years. But the managing the website, prepare, there is so much, the planning stuff, assisting Kevin. There are so many additional duties that they're doing that are outside of their realm. I'm not opposed to discussing the extra compensation possibly at a later date. We look at our budget and we look at the other employees. But I think right now, to be fair across, and it's really not gonna be fair, but to be able to take this in the best way we can with the other employees, I'm comfortable with $3 an hour. For both of them.
That'll bring them close. I mean, they're not gonna be right there, but they're close to the range of the average.
So you want to amend the motion to make it for both of them?
Is there already a motion on the table?
Well, yeah, they made a motion to give the deputies a wage increase, so I would just recommend that you amend. I'm gonna amend my motion to give the deputy clerk and the deputy treasurer a $3 an hour increase. I'll second that for 2 years. Is there any more discussion? Okay, we'll move forward with a roll call, please.
Eric,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Stacy,
Yes.
Rachel,
Yeah. Motion carried 5-0. And then I just want to clarify, it wasn't in the motion, but can that be effective for the next payday next week? Okay, I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. Sorry, it wasn't included.
Do you want me to send it?
No. The resolution instituting the moratorium. So this is what we were all asking for, so I'll make a motion to adopt resolution number 05-05-2026-004. Be in effect, I'm gonna put 6 months on it.
Madam,
Yes.
can we give, can we get John to give us a quick breakdown of that again?
On the moratorium?
Yeah, he was on the planning commission where they discussed.
No, this came from the attorney.
Oh,
Attorney drafted this.
oh, I see. Oh,
Yeah,
So we can set,
this
Yeah.
is, so we adopted the.
No, I know, but he was,
But we can talk about it. I can drag Kevin up here too. It'll be,
right.
Well, let's just,
I just
this
kind of
is
wanted,
just,
just wanted a discussion as to why.
well, we adopted an ordinance last month
Right.
that allowed our township to implement moratoriums as a whole. That's not my phone, I promise. It's right.
Set up or forward them, sign.
Right, what do you think? So this is the actual moratorium for the data center,
Okay, got it.
the data centers
Okay,
in the township.
got it.
So we can do discussion, Kevin, if you want
Kevin, you want to give us just give a little brief why we need a moratorium? I mean, brief,
I put 6 months on it,
because it's very important, I believe.
it comes back in November.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you're aware, data centers are popping up all over, Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, big time. There's a lot of townships that are having issues with it. A lot of townships are trying to, develop language in their zoning ordinances because nobody ever foreseen anything like this. We don't have anything in ours. Moratorium has become the standard way to put a pause on it, to develop language. Data centers use tremendous amounts of electricity, tremendous amounts of water. A lot of municipalities don't have the capabilities for it, but that doesn't stop them from applying. Anyway, there's been lawsuits because of the vague language, getting turned down. So we did at the recommendation of MTA, just to back up a little bit, we did the ordinance to put on moratoriums as a general idea for anything. And put that in the form of an ordinance, and you guys passed that. And that allows any new technology coming in that's not covered by our zoning ordinance with a simple resolution like you're doing tonight. You can put a moratorium on it that will stand up through the court system. And that's been a suggestion of MTA and various other legal agencies around the state. We don't read about it all the time. Every week there's another dozen townships doing the same thing. So we're just catching up. Hopefully we will never see one, but we at least want to be prepared with some language that we can develop and take our time and work it out. So.
This will buy us a little time. This is gonna give us a window to work on all that in case somebody comes in and wants to apply. Well, now they can't apply for 6 months. Give us some time to get ready.
Right.
Yeah, Madam Chair, if I may. So, yeah, I agree with, this, wholeheartedly. I think data centers are, there seems to be an unusual, expediting fast track agenda to get these data centers up. What all is behind that, everyone can go research that for themselves. But my biggest concern with the data centers is the amount of water that they use. I mean, we could talk about, power and supplying power, that's one thing. But the water issue is a big issue because from what I understand, I've only researched it limitedly, but from what I understand, even though we're being told that it has a closed loop cooling system, it's turning out to not be the case in some instances. And well, there's a lot of very harmful chemicals that are in that when trying to cool this gigantic system. And that water, there are talks that some will be, the water will be filtered and put back. Some say that it'll be a closed loop. I think the debate on this is still out there. And the science, to determine whether this is an environmental, pollution issue. I think the science has not caught up with it yet. So I think that we need to, I think this is a good thing for us. I think Kevin alluded to it. There's probably a good chance we won't ever get one here, but if we ever did, this is important.
Just I'll just do a real brief follow-up. At that, we went to the Zoom meeting that we did, the attorney, it was put on by an attorney, and some of his recommendations were put in your policy or your ordinance, air-cooled only. So they can't use water. The problem is they use more electricity. So you have to have a power source bigger, capable of running that much cooling electrically. So this is what the whole point of the story is. We get time to come up with a plan that could work for us if that happens. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Roll call, did we roll call that one?
John,
Yeah.
Eric,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Stacy,
Yes.
Rachel,
Yes. Motion carried 5-0. Okay, I will, make a motion to hire a temporary maintenance / cemetery helper for June through October of 2026.
Sure, you're gonna include hours, how many hours they can
I
work
thought we
in.
could discuss that.
Oh, all right.
Gotta get support, I said.
Support, thank you, Jess.
That's just for the summer.
Just for the summer, just for weed whacking.
Phones and.
I had offered John, more hours, so I was gonna bring that back for consideration, but he's not interested in additional hours. I did call and have a conversation with him. He said it'd probably be easier if they just had somebody extra to help out.
Okay.
Fill in the gap, so. Yeah, I mean. We can open it up or just post it on Facebook. I think we get applicants. Honestly, there's enough high school kids out there that I think would be interested in weed whacking or something basic.
So still, how much an hour and how many hours not to exceed?
I wouldn't exceed 20 hours a week. And I think we can, how much does John make? This Stacy, do you?
16, I think.
We could just go minimum wage,
How much is the minimum wage?
14. Close.
Let's go with 14, it is
Okay.
1473.
Okay, cool, 14.
Think we're gonna
14.
get anybody at 14?
No,
It's just gonna be temporary. I think we can at least try
We
to
can try.
post it on Facebook and see.
You might want extra money.
You might have a big deal with it or something.
Should we go 15?
15, not to exceed 20 hours. Through June to October.
Just tell.
Seasonal high.
So we're gonna, all right, do we have
So
to,
I'm gonna amend my motion to include $15 an hour, not to exceed 20 hours a week. To be posted on the township Facebook page.
frame June to October?
Seasonal help only. Saturday, June through October 2026.
Actually, ask her to read it back real quick.
Okay.
All right, fair enough.
Any more discussion? Okay, let's go with a roll call vote on that, please.
Eric,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Stacy,
yes.
Rachel,
Yes. Motion carried 5-0. Okay, that takes us to E. community host agreement, so we're gonna motion on the table, so we can have discussion. I will make a motion for Attorney Gilmer to begin negotiations. EDF. Regarding a host community agreement.
Support.
Okay, so I'll give you guys a little bit of discussion on this. And if you talk to me individually on this board, you probably know where I stand at it. So we brought the host agreement to the board last summer, no action was taken on that. I'm in a great area with this. The other, probably against our township, we're gonna have solar. It's coming, whether it's the project that's proposed or the project that's amended. Again, the odds are against us. So the community host agreement is where we are going to, if we have a community host agreement, then we will get the megawatt dollars, I guess. So we could be looking at anywhere from $250,000 one-time payment from the solar company. The community host agreement can entail different things, whether, and I had a call with Kevin and Attorney Gilmer the other day. But it can entail different things as far as requesting that they abide by a noise ordinance, put setbacks in there, assistance with fighter training over the fire station. So there's a few, more than a few, I mean, I guess the options are endless, that we can see where negotiations go. This doesn't mean that we have to adopt the host agreement. If this host agreement comes back, the township doesn't have to take action at all. We don't have to adopt it, but we can kind of see what they're offering there too, if we allow them to begin negotiations. So that's where I'm at with this, at least see what the negotiations are. But this, it can kind of be trickery, and Kevin knows this, I told him. I feel like it looks like you're working with this, you know, you're working with them, so the state's more apt to approve the project, if it looks like we got an agreement with them, so I've been gray on this area. I mean, host. Right there, that just, the headline doesn't sound good to me. Money attached to it doesn't sound good to me, so, that's my feelings on it, but if we vote no on it, then it just, the attorney won't, right now, this isn't deciding if we get any money. We're just allowing the attorney to do a negotiation.
Already comes up with, that was bringing me to my question, is there a time frame for this? What's our time frame for having to say something, or is there no time frame?
We'll see when the attorney gets it back to us.
So we're just voting on the attorney drafting a agreement, a
Negotiating.
negotiation.
Yes.
Okay, but this is not a final decision.
No,
Okay, so when we get the negotiation back to us in writing, we can then make a decision if we
Correct.
want to accept it or not then.
correct.
Okay,
And you guys can look at this draft one and just read through it if you haven't already, and it kind of gives you a little bit of a baseline of some things that could be included in a future post agreement. There could be things added, things taken out, we'll see what.
one of the questions that I have with that host agreement is if we take their money, are we then obligated to them? I mean, that's I'm saying like.
I've had a hard time with this one from the beginning.
And I've seen how these things play out in court, and when the state takes someone's money and they cash the check, and we are an agent of the state, there's just some legally binding concerns I have. That we're not legally binding ourselves to somebody by taking their money.
I cannot give you the details, but we'll make sure that Attorney Gilder is present at the next meeting.
Right, so,
When he
okay,
brings the,
yeah,
We can all.
appreciate that, thank you.
paperwork.
But it will be nice to have him come back and say how much he thinks they'll bend. Because, if we get to that point where, it's inevitable, I mean, there is a lot of things that we could use. So it's hard to say where that's gonna be, but I think he should be able to get a feel where they're saying, no, we're not doing any of that. We might do this. So I would like him to go big, like, maybe a fire truck.
Go big or go home?
Yeah, like a fire truck. Because, if they're willing to go $500,000, $700,000, $800,000, well, that tells them what they want to play. So
If they don't,
And, no, we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna,
Yeah, and I love this. I love the idea of this. I mean, don't be wrong. If they're gonna just throw money at us and we've got to put up with them anyway, then I suppose that's one thing. But I don't wanna later on have an objection and then we get
Oh,
into
you
a.
guys did this host agreement.
Yeah, we get into a court, we get into court and the judge says, well, you cashed your check, you took the money, you know what I mean?
Eric, your signature's right here.
You know?
they kind of overrode us and went to the state, Eric.
I realize that, but there's this thing,
If we can wait them out, that would be nice.
yeah. Look, I wish they weren't coming here either, but I'm also just concerned about, I just want to make sure we've asked some questions for the attorney that he gives us, you know, a full breakdown. Thank you.
You're welcome. May I have a roll call on that, please?
John,
Yeah.
Eric,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Stacy,
Yes.
Rachel,
Yes. Motion carried 5-0. Okay, let's go into the lasso equipment, the story of the decade. Okay, so I would like to just move forward with a silent bid as we do our foreclosed homes. I gave each of you a list, it was kind of last minute, but these are the items that Vicky went through and printed it out for me and made it all free. But these are the items back there that we would like to get posted in the Herald for a silent bid, just like we do the people can come in, bid on the projects. All of the other small stuff back there, whether that's tents, I don't even know what's back there. I know it's full of a bunch of just stuff.
It's been rotting for.
There's old bikes back there that the police department, I think, had confiscated at some time, or there's so much stuff back there. So we would like to do a township rummage sale on the May 29th, May 30th, and May 31st.
I got a question. The bottom three are not level, correct? From what I understand.
Who didn't tell me that they were not?
The John Deere
They
and the
can't be
1992.
cemetery.
Yeah, those three places.
Okay.
But we can still sell.
Yeah, so I'll make a motion to run a 2-week ad in the Herald of all items listed as presented. For a silent bid,
That's what I was gonna do. Silent bid to be opened at a public
to
meeting.
be opened at the next public.
Let people understand.
But no minimum bid.
You open.
Oh, so that's my motion, right? And then when I get support, we'll do a little more support. Chris made a good point too. Do we want to set a minimum bid on any of these items? My suggestion would be no, if that's been sitting out there for so long.
My suggestion would be the one we have the title for. Yes,
Which one
the
is that?
Hummer. I think it's the black one that.
The 4-door.
Chris, that we have the title for, the 4-door Hummer.
It's.
But we went down and got that title.
Yeah, it's one of them. I don't know.
We got
That's the one with the Thetford painted on it.
I think so.
Hold on a
This is
second.
complete with the number 7.
Can
Number 7.
can a Hummer be sold to civilians?
Yes.
Everything out there, we had Lasso come in, right? I did right after I got locked in, had it come
I thought
in.
a Humvee was a.
I have a guy right here interested in that 6-door one emailing me.
Right, I know.
They're like
I
constantly
can.
emailing.
It can,
It can?
and the other can be, the other stuff that we couldn't get titles for can be sold with bills of sale.
Okay, now what about the one Hummer that is lettered in the police?
That's the
We,
4-door that you're talking about.
we're not gonna sell that with all the police.
You're not gonna be able to sell it with
No.
the detail on it.
Right, we're gonna have those removed.
See that, and that would be, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but that would be the only one you may want to put a minimum on because they tell me that it's very rare
Mhm.
a four-door Hummer of that vintage. So from a restoration standpoint, that one probably had value, and that's why that guy's calling you there all the time. The rest of that crap, I don't know,
We have the title for
but
it.
that one you might want to put a minimum bid on. I don't know what it would be, but
You're talking number 7?
make it number 7.
The one we have the title.
Yeah, it's got a clean title. We have a title for it.
I think this guy's looking at that Humvee.
He's looking at the,
Yeah, he
Yeah,
looked
two
at
of
the
them, right.
Humvee.
yes,
The Humvee, I think, is like the 6.
Yeah.
The big door one is the one that I think has, so I'm on the wrong one, maybe number
Yeah.
The
6.
police Hummer, I think, is the one that has
It's
its
black.
decals.
Yeah,
decal.
the 6-door one is the one that's really rare. There wasn't a lot of them, so.
Well, this guy is all based on if we have a key to it, if we have a title to it. And he, and we put it right in this email. I came across some articles about a stretch surplus Humvee that your township had. Last I could find it, it had been sitting out behind the fire station for a few years. Let me know if your township would be willing to sell it for 12,000 or so, depending on if it runs or if there's any titling.
That one has value.
That don't run though.
But if it ran, it'd be worth a lot more than 12,000.
Well, but I mean, to John's point, I think that he's got a good point. I mean, obviously, we should look at some of the value in this.
Just on the 2 Hummers, I think we should get a minimum bid. Somebody, I don't know who would tell us that, but
Could we accept or refuse any bids? Just put that in.
Accept or refuse anything?
Yeah.
yes.
Okay,
But we still need to have someone tell us what it's worth, because I have no idea what that 6-door is worth, you know?
well. and-
Apparently the guy thinks it's worth over $12,000. Yeah, so.
He must know something we don't.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's what
In
it
the
is.
blue book?
Madam Supervisor, a point of information and clarification, please. When you have this auction and you take care of all of this, where will those funds be deposited?
Into the police department. I know,
Let's see.
I know, that's why the police fund has stayed open all these years.
I guarantee I'll get my.
I don't know who we would get. We'd have to do a little research, but I think those 2 only would have we should put a minimum, just a minimum
Yeah.
bid. And you're just gonna have to,
So I'll do a little research on those 2
just them 2.
and make sure they have a minimum bid.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do the 12,000 right here. I don't know.
Well, he wants a title and he wants, I think we have the title for the platform.
Well, I think he'd work,
Sure, that's.
if he's calling you like that, he'll work it out. Whatever it takes.
Okay, so. Andy, I apologize for this, but can you read back that motion that I gave?
Rachel moved to run 2-week ad in Herald for all items listed as presented for a silent bid to be opened at the next public meeting, reserving the right to accept or reject any bids.
Sounds good to me.
Do
Who
we,
supported that?
Chris,
do we have to put the minimum bid in the paper though? How's that work? Or do we just, we just put it not just for us?
I do it just for us.
I don't know.
They'll probably come in and ask when they look at it.
There you go, that's true. If we know, so we can just tell them.
It needs to be power washed down. It's got mold on it.
Nope,
Don't.
no. All right.
Does anybody know the mileage on that? I don't even wanna go down this rabbit hole. Let's go with that. Needed a roll call on this one.
Yeah, we got it.
Yes.
John,
Yes,
Stacy,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Rachel,
we can look.
Yes.
We can look, Chris, so.
Okay, I'm gonna make another motion for the township to host a township rummage sale on May 29th, 30th, and 31st. For all township. No, I mean, it's everything. I wanna say all township junk, but I don't think that that's appropriate. All township unused. items.
Surplus equipment.
There we go. Does
Surplus.
that include the desks that we have there, the 10 filing cabinets,
Plus, right?
Surplus.
Okay.
surplus equipment?
Did you want support for that? Support. Now, my next question is, how are we gonna price that stuff? I mean, if
I,
you're-
I would love to run it like the senior center does. It's like come in and just get
Oh,
money,
I
you know?
I know, I know.
Might make $10, might make a quarter.
We have,
So we get them to do it.
And they're very good at, they're very good at computer research.
Do you guys wanna price it? Do we wanna price it all, or do we wanna run the rummage sale like this?
so you just offer, you come in and offer a price or, I don't care, I'm just curious.
And
I mean, we can, we go there and price it off.
add to accept and refuse any, this, they say, I'm gonna give you $1 for that, and it's.
Because I've only walked through there once, there's trunks of crap, there's boxes of crap, there's, so I mean. I'm assuming if people are gonna walk out and say, I'll give you $10 for the box, so I mean, that's, okay, if you wanna get rid of it, that's fine, I just don't know what you should do really. Because a lot of it's just,
Oh, we can price it. I'll run them.
something, yeah, okay,
We'll come down, we'll
Alright.
go down there and we'll price it.
all right.
Maybe we'll have like $10 tables and.
I don't know, I mean, I don't know what good way to do it, but I know it's awkward because there's a big whole crate of something, I don't know if it's.
Tents.
Tents, sleep, I don't know what's in there,
It-
It might be rotted and molded.
could be a body under there, I don't know.
All those are very, John.
All right,
Okay.
what happened, did we?
Who supported that?
I did.
Okay, well, we'll go with that, roll call.
What are we doing?
I'm making a motion, I made a motion to have a township rummage sale for all surplus items on May 29th, 30th, and 31st. And the township office will price items.
Right, though, we're not gonna be available, yeah, you're not gonna be available either.
John,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Stacy,
Yes,
Rachel,
Yes. Motion carried 5-0. Oh, my goodness. That's a bittersweet feeling. Okay, application for fireworks. I'll make a motion to accept and approve the application for fireworks for 1327 East Francis Road.
second that.
Thank you. Is there any discussion?
No, it looks good, I mean, his paperwork is all
Yeah.
right there.
It's an every year thing.
Okay, all in favor of the approval of the application for fireworks? Say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carried. Under the backhoe loader bucket. Andy, can you send a copy of that over to Chief Bronson or Stacy, please? And thank you, or let Vicky know, I appreciate the sheet them too. The backhoe loader bucket,
Yeah, Madam Chair, if I may.
yeah.
First, make a motion.
I'll make a motion to purchase the, heavy duty, backhoe loader bucket front.
What's that, Eric?
That's the more expensive of the two.
1568.49.
Should be the. Second. Should be like the 1500 one.
Yeah.
All right, I'll second.
Yeah, because of the cutting edge, what's that mean?
It's just, yeah, it's heavier duty, it's got a heavier duty cutting and, heavier duty sidewalls on the.
Does it go on easier? Is it better?
That's exactly the same. It's just got the additional sidewall. Thickness steel and, cutting edge.
It'll last longer.
Well, as long as we're not putting salt in the bucket and not, washing
We're
it out.
gonna keep the old bucket for the salt,
We could, yeah, no problem.
so we don't ruin the new bucket.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
We're gonna clear all that stuff out of the full barn so that we will ruin back there.
In there. So let's get the, put in your motion there, Eric, the amount, it's a 15.
For 1568 49.
Who supported that?
I did.
And also, when we get that bucket, before we use it, it immediately needs a high quality hook welded onto it. The last one was just an inadequate hook and it snapped off, so. Like to, if you want, you can put me in charge of acquiring the hook. I know what to give. It's a pretty standard thing. I've got the exact same.
What does the hook do?
It's just, so you can hook chains to it. It's just the last hook snapped off. So.
Go ahead, get it.
Actually, could it weld it onto the bucket while it's off would be a lot
Mhm.
easier and then.
Exactly. I would, yeah. I think Jeff says he can, well, no charge, but we, I just want a really good job. So. Either way, I mean, I'm sure my dad or Keith Baxter would do it, so.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right, roll call, please.
Eric,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Stacy,
Yes.
Rachel,
Yes. Motion carried 5-0. And I'll make a motion to approve John Walden's PA. Second.
Is,
They come in front, farmers bring them in front of the board.
Every year they bring.
Any discussion?
Is this not for the land bank? Is it, or is it for the,
It's like parcels,
I don't,
17, 13, 300, 17, 13, 310. Nice.
I was just curious what the purpose of it is. It goes to the land, how much,
Oh, Maurice is talking about if the crops don't do so well, they get.
oh, that's what it
paid.
is. So, yeah, if he has a
Yeah.
failed year, he can get reimbursed as long as we approve the,
Yes.
I got you. Right.
Yeah, he had a couple parcels that he didn't even farm and he got reimbursed.
So that's what I want. I knew it was some kind of reimbursement, but I didn't know if it was for letting it rejuvenate. In this case, it looks like because he's actually listing what he anticipates. It must be for actually growing. So. All right.
Is there any more discussion? Do a roll call on that, one, please.
John,
Yes.
Eric,
yes.
Stacy,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Rachel,
Yes. Motion carried 5-0. Okay, that being done, we'll move to brief public comment, please. For 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I got three separate things. One is a public hearing that took place here a couple weeks ago. A suggestion was made that the board put together a letter and send it off in support of the stuff that's going on in litigation. Letter of support.
Yeah, I'm still looking at it.
Township.
For the other townships, yeah.
Yeah, the other townships there's a lot of townships that are on board. It's too late to join them, but you can send a letter of support.
Class action should-
I didn't forget.
Yes, thank you.
Did not forget it. Still
Did that happen?
It will happen.
Okay.
Did not forget.
I was disappointed it wasn't even mentioned, so I thought that it would at least be
No,
mentioned in
I-
this meeting tonight.
No, I want it, when I do it, I want to make sure the attorney reviews it first
Okay.
before we send it.
All right.
We're gonna probably have a special meeting the end of this month.
The second thing is, I spoke with you after the meeting and I made a recommendation. Maybe one thing that we can do is to have kind of like the weather stations, NOAA, they have little stations that constantly give readings for the weather. If we installed constant readers for various radiation levels, including RF, EMF, and EF sources of radiation. And just have it, continually monitored. You can have a system, it could actually send it here or SD card it, it has to get, collected and recorded or something. But to have some of these stations around the township to get them up now so that anybody coming in with solar panels or whatever else, we have record of what these readings were before they arrived, what the readings are after they're here, And then just to be able to say, we have limits here in our township. If it goes above, 0.3, 0.4, constant radiation stuff, then there's consequences. Just to have some kind of a policy in addition to having these stations. And that's just my thought, my idea. And so I'd like for you guys to have at some point, put that on an agenda to discuss.
Can I get more details on that, though? Have you researched any?
For about 10 minutes online, I have.
Okay.
I know that they do have long-term readers that from what I see, they do have them available. How those are set up, where they're set up, is it set up on, personal property land? Is it set up on, county land? I don't know. I don't know how all that works, but I do know that it is.
Something like
10 minutes,
purchase, so.
10 minutes of research on it. I saw that it is available. They have lots of different models. Some models of these readers had good reviews, some of them had bad reviews. So, it would be a matter of,
Yeah, Madam Chair, I think that's a great idea to have maybe even our code enforcer do a reading now. Because this would be a good basis for if we get that jammed down our throat, that these are prior readings documented. These are readings after if that happened, which might make a legal help some legality if that turns out to be the case.
yeah, and I think that one of the challenges would be, I got this handheld reader and this is what it read on this day, whereas if you had it
Going, yes.
a fixed station that said, this is our reader, or we have 10 readers in the township. I don't know. I'm just, brainstorming at this point, but, good idea. So, okay. And the last thing I have is, you made mention of voter roll clarity. Can you expound on that? What problems do we have right now that we're addressing with that?
Well, in the county alone, they have 180,000 people that they've got on verify that have moved. And to try to take them off that voter roll, they're not allowing you to do that. They say they're trying to get it fixed. You want people that live here, are registered here to vote. You don't want, I called the state yesterday because there's like 800 absent ballots on the permanent roll. And I'm like, can I go through these? I'm like, I just suggest you send them out. I'm not good with that answer.
Right. I'm not either.
I'm,
Okay.
because years ago, you had to get an application from people. I'm willing to send the application out.
Right.
But not these people on there permanently, and you people can't remove them because we don't do that in office anymore. They stick them on and you're stuck with them.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm trying to work and fight the state and the county and everyone else with that.
Okay. And there's 800 that are discrepancy, or is there more than that?
Well, there's 800 on the permanent, just send them out a ballot without an application. This I don't like.
I don't either.
I'll
No,
expand some more on that when I fight them some more. They are not liking me down at the county, but hey, they'll get over it.
yeah, what, if they don't live here, or maybe they passed away or whatever, why would you have a voting ballot out, set one up?
Right. Why would you waste a ballot? I have a neighbor across the street, and for 4 or 5 years, they got a ballot to someone who didn't live there. So I ask for the name, I go in, I try to remove this man there, he's on verify. I'm like, after all these years, he's just on verify.
Right.
Oh.
I have a daughter that moved, when she went to school, she moved out of state. And now she's moved to California. And I'm willing to bet that she's probably on that roll.
Probably on 3 different roles here and there.
Well, maybe.
I'm working on it, it's frustrating, but
Yeah. So,
my deputy and I are giving it our best shot.
well, good luck. Making it happen. All right, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else?
Ed wants to talk back.
Madam Supervisor,
Yes, sir.
I will reiterate my previous comment. I think that what you're doing with the LESO program is absolutely wrong. I get the impression that you're trying to punish Bob Kenny through Mike Walter. And that's very, very unfair to Mike Walter. And I will reiterate my second comment. I will defend any one of you ladies that are up there. I will defend the two gentlemen that are up there, though I don't think Eric needs a whole lot of help. But you've got to make changes out there. You're wrong on the LESO equipment. No, I am done. I'm leaving as a resident. I will come back as a citizen at large. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else?
Get two there.
Get to hear from me one more time. Promise, this is it. At one point in time, I think probably a year ago, you appointed a committee to look into a police department. Possible contract, something like that. And just for the record, I want to say that I was in a discussion with a resident about our master plan, which a lot of residents indicated a willingness to have a police department by a majority of the survey people. This particular resident is interested in serving on a police committee, should we get one. And I can vouch that he has management experience running a police department. He has experience as a patrol officer, as a code enforcement officer. I think he presently is still working in a law enforcement capacity, and he's a township rep. He's interested in doing anything he can to help us develop a police department. So if you decide to move forward with that, please let me know. I told him I would at least make the board aware of his offer. So I won't mention the name until we get to that point. So, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, when I walk up here, it just makes me hobble after sitting out there for so long. Makes me feel older and old. Martin Kuzma, most of you know me, county commissioner for this area. I'm also a candidate for running for state rep. I just wanted to make sure I knew that some of you knew that and some don't. So, but the reason I stepped up here is that to give you a little update with where the county's at and what I'm involved with and some of these millages that will be coming up for renewal and some other ones. There's 2 or 3 that are coming up, one of which was they're just for renewal, was the cultural millage, and that one's a very contested one. And it'd be up for renewal, but instead of allowing the cultural centers to allocate the money, the board could be doing that. And I ended up and voted for it because it was the less of 2 evils. But it's going to create other problems. I know how politics work in the county, and we, the county commissioners, will be lobbied heavy, pushing and pulling for that money when the time comes. But I did it so that I could take, and if I'm still there, in this millage, it's on the ballot 2 years in advance. It doesn't even take them. I've never seen one. They've asked for it 2 years in advance. But at any rate, so there's time to work things out. There's a lot of work on that. But I wanted to talk about some of the other millages that are on there that are not up for renewal. As the finance chair, most of the 8 years of the last 10 that I've been there, I have fought to even though they're on the ballot and the citizens have approved to, allocate up to like a mill or 0.367 or whatever. The county, every year we have to take in levy bills. And we've never, ever taken a look at not levying or reducing it. And I've been pushing for years I finally got some traction that, as we're starting to develop the budget going into the next year, starting later this month. Not allocating or levying some of those mills to the full extent to give the citizens a break, but the three mills that we're mostly looking at, they're sitting on tens of millions of dollars. So it's like, why in God's green earth are they? I mean, they're not a bank. They're taking money from the residents, they're just putting it in a bank, and there's close to 40 million there. And we can't spend it on, it's restricted funds. You have to spend it on what the voters voted for. There's needs for a lot of other things, but we can't spend that money on that. We have to, but that being said, we've changed a lot of down at the county. 10 years ago, when I first went down there, the county was near bankruptcy, and I worked very hard along with other people, of course, to the county now has fund balance to move forward to do some of the projects that have been put on hold for a long time. The other thing I want to talk about is the solar farms and the data centers. I'm glad to see that you're putting a moratorium on it. As I go around to campaign, my district is going to be over 4 different counties. So it's a very large and rural agricultural type thing. So if elected, I'll get involved with those things. But you guys, being you have this center or this solar farm coming here or tempting or whatever, wherever that's in the process, you guys aren't alone. That's a big concern throughout that whole district as I'm talking. And Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong, but the state did put a moratorium on the data centers, didn't they, for a year?
They were talking about it. I don't know that they did.
I think it passed.
Those did recently.
Yeah, but I still want you guys to do it too, because that's what you're talking about. A double whammy is good, because a lot of research has to be done. Eric talked a little bit about the different ways that they can build them, and there's some that are good and some bad. They're building both ways, but if it comes here, you guys want to be prepared. And the ones that are air cooled, they don't take the water like they do, but they create a lot of humming. But then there's ways of mitigating that noise too. And so you're going to have to develop that into your ordinances. And hopefully the state doesn't override those ordinances like they have with the ordinances and the solar farms and the wind farms and et cetera. But that's also a national level. I've gone to seminars, in Washington, D.C., where they talked about a lot of that stuff, and they talked about it, how a lot of that stuff is for our national defense, especially the data centers. So that all has got to be worked out. And, I really want to thank, Kevin Lawrence for being such a wealth of information and in this community. It owes a lot to him for, putting in all the time he does. Yeah, of course, that's just Kevin. I've known Kevin since we were kids, but that's Kevin. That's just how he is. He's a good guy. Go ahead.
Question for you. Can you explain the MTA increase that's coming on the ballot in August?
We want to do some more programs. The
Do they
MTA,
benefit us outlying areas?
yes, because they're going more into like an Uber type thing, where you call and they come out, they're out in the area anyway. That's going to require some more money. But the attempt is you guys don't get much of anything here. And I see the buses going down 57 here, but I don't know if they're picking people up or what they're doing.
Yeah, I don't see stuff.
But that is part of the problem with at the county level with these villages and et cetera. I agree with the Elk County, I fight like the bejeebies, but the money just keeps getting sucked out. We're paying the money. It's going down into primary Flint, and, yeah. We just need to be a little bit stronger.
And that
at
will
the
be
ballot box.
in August.
Yes, and I will tell you this, that is not really a county one, that one, it's the MTA is an authority. And along with the city of Flint, and I mean, we have people that sit on the board, but that's an authority, so it's completely separate from the county villages. They don't have to come to ask us to put it on.
Unfortunately.
When do they have their meetings?
Pardon?
The MTA?
When do they have them?
Do you know offhand?
No, I don't offhand. I've never sat on that board. I've sat on a lot of boards, but that one I've never sat on, so I don't know. I mean, I can find out for you, the record. I know him personally. He used to be a trustee out here years ago. John Ray even served with him. Maybe John ain't that old, I don't know.
Everyone make sure you vote no.
Well, Thetford is a no county for that stuff, and, but, those votes are countywide, so, you're only 7,000 people up here, and not that many are on the ballot or the vote. Vote your heart, I do, and, I don't have a problem if it goes up or down, I mean, that's just what the, community wants, and, as the county commissioner, I oversee that spending, and, whether I agree with it or not, once it comes in, I gotta do, make a vote on how to spend it. Anything else? Good, thank you.
Thank you.
He was a trustee here.
Is there anybody else? Eric, do you have anything?
First, I'd like to congratulate the deputy clerk, the deputy treasurer, Andy and Vicky. I think they're just excellent help around this township. In my whole, time being here as an elected official, I'm very, very happy with their performance. They've impressed me, and I've seen no better. So I want to congratulate them on that. Gotta congratulate our clerk though on that comment you said earlier. That was impressive. But they're not gonna like you down there, but they'll get over it. I just thought that was impressive, okay? I had to give you 2 thumbs up on
Pushing them out of the stuff.
that. I'm proud of you. That was awesome.
I don't think that's the first time that statement's been
I
said,
don't think that's, they didn't like me.
Yeah, but then, and then on the data centers, like I said, I think the science needs to catch up with it. I like the idea, that was, brought up about, putting in the, ordinance about the air cooled only, until they get more exact science on the water cooling thing. I mean, there are just forever chemicals in that water. And I think that's a potential problem, but let's not, we hope we don't have to deal with that. Other than that, I'd like to also congratulate Jeff. You're doing a good job on the code enforcing. And yeah, that too. So pat on the back to Jeff over there for doing that. Other than that, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out, and you all have a good night.
Thank you, Eric. John?
I don't have anything other than, I'd like to thank everyone, thank the board for passing the International Fire Agreement. And I thought it was a very productive meeting for how much we had. We got it all. And I don't know what to contribute that to, but it was a good meeting.
Well, I want to thank everyone for coming out. Make sure in August you do vote, because they're gonna slip that stuff in on you. And I want to congratulate the deputies. They help everyone in the office. And Jeff's been wonderful help, and Benny's been great. I mean, the building is looking so much better every day. So thank everyone for coming out.
I basically want to say the same thing. I want to thank Jeff for doing an awesome job, getting everything cleaned up. I'd like to thank Benny for doing an amazing job cleaning and getting the township back in order. Kevin, I want to thank you for doing an awesome job. Every time we have a question, you're right there to answer it. And Amby and Vicky are doing an amazing job. They really are 100% decent. And thank every one of you for coming out. And thanks for the fire code. I'm sure Chief Bronson is happy with that. And have a good evening. Drive safe.
And I'll keep it simple, I'm just thanking everybody in the room.
Yeah.
And especially the residents, I mean, without all of you guys being here to support us, your tax dollars obviously pay us to make decisions up here, so. Thank you for taking the time out to attend the meetings. I wish we could just keep growing the crowd as big as we can grow the crowd, so people are aware of what's going on in their township, because I can't say it enough, nobody knows what's going on until it's going up in their backyard, so. Spread that word around, please. I am extremely excited that in at least 90 days, all of that cleared out of there, so. Thank God, history behind us for one. That has kind of been a thorn in this township side for way too long, so I'm hoping and looking forward to the day we move past all of that leftover equipment. And clean up a little bit more around here. Benny, I'm sorry to keep putting stuff on your plate. I think they're all used to me now though, so, anyways, with all of that being said, Kevin, yeah, thank you too. I mean, he's been in meetings with me, to consumers, to attorney meetings, but he's phenomenal sitting up here for the town hall meeting. Jeff, I mean, wow, for a code enforcer to hit 3 calls multiple times. I mean, and he's getting work done. He's calling their attention, he's bringing people out, he's on the site, so better have a property cleaned up, because Jeff's gonna come get you. Other than that, folks, no, I really do appreciate all of you guys taking the time out of your day to attend. And we're here if you need us, just give us a call. I'm easier to reach on my cell phone. And other than that, have a good night. With that, I'll make a motion to adjourn. Support. Support, aye.